Perfect. All right, guys. So tonight we are talking everything signing distributors, which I know when I first started was one of my biggest like hurdles. Drop a one in the chat if you're like, I have a hard time with distributors too. We're going to give you all the tips tonight. Shannon is a little under the weather. I so appreciate you sharing, Shannon. Thank you. And if you guys didn't know, she was the top distributor enroller in Canada last year. And she's always been amazing and so consistent on how she brings in her people. So go ahead, Shannon, share away.
Thank you. Don't mind my stuffy nose and my very awful voice. I feel bad that you guys have to listen to me. Um, okay, so I think one of the first things that someone asked me when I was struggling to sign distributors was, have you shared your story recently? And I looked at them and I was kind of like, well, no. Like, people know my story. Like, why would I share it often? They were like, no, no, no. You need to share your story every single day. It's powerful, and different people are going to see your posts at different times. So even though we feel like we're being repetitive, not everyone is going to see every single post. So keep that in mind. Um, Remember too, you can tell different parts of your story at different times. You can tell like way back when stories. You can tell current stories. Even if you're new into the business, tell stories with your goals. And honestly, those small wins will make the biggest difference when people are watching you. It's one thing where you get to where I am and you can say, oh, we built our dream house and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people don't relate to that because they don't even have those dreams. They don't even think that that's fathomable. So the fact that you put $50 of gas in your gas tank, that's relatable to them. That's what they want to know that you are doing, and that you're able to accomplish with this business. So remember, those small wins are still huge. Share them, even if they don't feel big to you, and share your story every day. Jessica was mentioning right before this how she likes that I share a post and then I put it in my story. I actually got that from another distributor at a training event that we had, and that's what she recommended doing. And it actually makes it so easy because now you've taken your opportunity post and you've put it in your story, and now you have an opportunity story, and you've only had to write one thing. Plus, it looks a little bit different. It's a little bit more eye catching sometimes than just like those random story slides that we get. But it's good to mix it up. Um, a lot of what I write, I would say for my posts when I'm telling my story too, I write in the evenings. I don't know why, but my mind just flows better. So I'll get my post ready for the next day, or I'll get a few posts ready for the week. And then everything is easy, ready to post, ready to go. And I know sometimes too, when you're new and you feel like you don't have a story to tell, you do. Trust me. Like I said, even the smallest of wins, it can be that you had some people support your business, or you can write down your dreams, right? What you want to get from this, because that will really speak to other people. Because so something else someone said to me one time was, when you are watching a commercial for a vacuum, you're not looking at that person who's using the vacuum and thinking, oh, that's nice for them. You're thinking, can I use that for myself? Is that something that I could do, that I need in my life? So when you're writing these posts, remember that we're speaking to the people that are going to be reading them. And when they are reading them, they're not necessarily looking at our life and what it's about. They're thinking about if they could incorporate it into theirs, and if it would be helpful in their own life. So if you want to talk about how you're signing up your kids for summer camp because of this business, all those little wins, and I mean, that's not even a little win, that's a big win, really are what is going to speak volumes and interest people in what you're doing. They're going to say, okay, you're sending your kid to summer camp on this, what are you doing? Like, maybe I need that too, because I want to send my kids to summer camp. We were looking at it for the first time this year because my son is now 5, and I could not get over the cost of summer camp. It was crazy. So that's a big win. Like I said, just putting gas in your tank. Tell little bits of stories from your past. Sometimes I'll talk about how I used to work at a credit union. Um, and now, of course, I'm doing this. And I've talked previously about how way back when I went to school and didn't even complete it. So I don't have any education. You know, you can put these little things, and it doesn't have to be this huge, long, 5, 6, 7 paragraph post. You can keep it short and sweet, but make sure that you're telling your story daily, every single day, whether it's in a post, in your story, whether you're going live on your page, if you want to do a video in your story. There are so many different ways to share what you have going on in your life and what we have to offer, what the business is doing for you, what it's going to do for you, what it's done for other people, even. Sometimes I like to shout out teammates and say, so and so was able to go and buy all of their groceries. I know another sideline has a girl that was able to buy all of her groceries after getting off social assistance. And, you know, sometimes those stories will really touch people. So it's not always just our own stories that we are sharing, we're also sharing other people's stories. Because it's great when we can be like motivational and inspirational and all those things to other people, but make sure that you are still, what I'll say, keeping it real. Keep it real with people. Be honest, be your true self, and you're going to attract the people that are like-minded, and those are the people that we want on our team anyways. I think that's kind of my biggest tip, is to tell your story. One of the things that I also like to do is I get potential distributors from cold messaging. That is one of my favorite things to do. And honestly, I will just be scrolling my page. I'm finding other moms on my page, other um, people that have good looking pages, if that makes sense. So you can be kind of selective with the people that you're messaging. Uh, and I find that that works really, really well. Again, for finding those people that you can relate really well with, and you're going to make those lifelong friendships and lifelong teammates too. Mhm.
I love that, Shannon. Yeah, I she's so consistent posting about the business, and she's grown a ton in her confidence. I remember when like she first started versus now, sometimes I'll read her posts, I'm like, dang, like it's bold, but it like, you know, you're just getting yourself out there. And then you are vulnerable, like you're super vulnerable too. How like you struggled with stress and anxiety before, and like you still do, and you share about all those things, and you struggle with, you know, being a mom and finding the balance. Totally relatable to all moms. um but yeah, I love that. And you do the direct messaging.
Mhm.
um I've got scripts that I can share if anyone wants the board that we have after. Feel free to reach out. You guys know that I love to share the board. But yeah, you just have to ask. I think that's one of the big things. You just have to be consistent and ask. So um, I'm gonna jump in and kind of, I'm a green personality, you guys, so give you like the facts, the scripts, the things as well. When you first start, especially if you're someone, I'm going to talk to anyone on here who's new. Any win, just like Shannon said, is a win. It doesn't have to be this long, big success story to show people your journey. If you want to write these down, these are just a couple of the things that when I started, I had like no experience, no social media. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I shared, you know, if I had a conversation with someone, so excited today, I talked to another stay at home mom, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't even have to have enrolled in order for me to talk about the wins in my business. Um, Talking about signing your first customer, talking about the flexibility, talking about the friendships, the support, talking about getting healthy and that you can earn income at the same time. That's why I started. Growing in confidence. Like it doesn't even have to be money that the business is giving you. Just saying that, like, I was such an introvert before, you guys. It's not even funny how much confidence this business has given me. Um, Talk about your first bonus, what it's doing, like putting the gas in your car, just like Shannon said, the groceries. Oh my gosh, the groceries right now are insane. Like Talk about how it's paying for the extras. Your first rank up, your team wins, just like Shannon said, like not just you, but others. There's so many different ideas to post and share about. Ashley Mayfield does one that I really like, a simple template, past, present, and future. Talk about where you were before. You know, when I was a kid, we come from a family of 5. My parents couldn't afford to put us in sports. Now that I have the money for the extras and I can put my kids in things, I don't have to worry about not being able to afford it. Or like when I was in my 20s, my first car would break down all the time. You don't know how many times I've talked to people like, I need to get my car repaired. I need new tires. I need this for my vehicle. And this business has allowed me to pay off our we don't have to have financing on our car anymore. Just small little wins, like it can be anything. Talking about being outside. I remember one of the first times I was talking to someone and she was like, you know what got me was you were always posting about being outside. And I work in a cubicle all day long, and you were talking about just being outside and you're always doing fun things. And I'm just like sitting here in the summer and my life sucks. Like it can just be your office view. I do my office view post. Like I used to do it once a week, every week. That was like one of my contents was where's my view today? So I love how Shannon does it. You know, you can take your post, cut it up, make it into a story. For one, it's personal, especially in the digital age where so many more people are working online. It's great to set yourself apart versus just the generic looking for people 18 plus who want to make an extra $500 a month. Like those are great to do once or twice a week, but also do your personal story at least, I would say at least 3 times a week. You know, take that little bit of time, even if it's going to take you 20 minutes to write it out. Another tip is to save those. If you take the time to write something, you can recycle and reuse it 2 or 3 months down the road, and no one's going to know that you already posted it. Okay, so time saver, save your posts. Okay. So sorry, I wrote notes, you guys, and I didn't follow them at all. So now I'm like, where am I? So posting is great, and people will come to you in time as you grow and develop your business. People watch you; they feel like they feel confident that you're legitimate, all those kinds of things. But posting and stories aren't asking. You do have to send the messages. And I remember Shannon one of the times she's like, "I'm just not enrolling. Like, what am I doing?" And I was like, "How many distributor messages have you sent today?" How many? So like, we all know our number. How many distributors messages did you personally send today or this week for that matter? And usually when we self-reflect, we're like, oh, dang, like, we don't really realize that we might not be doing something that's like, really important. So if you're like, who do I message? Who are the people? Shannon likes to scroll her news feed and she finds someone who she's like, ooh, they have a big following. They're really, really positive. They take great photos. Like they're a mom. They, whatever, like they jive with, you already have that personal connection, reach out. For myself, who I like to ask is, back in the day, we never had host to post. We never had stories or reels. It was literally anyone who liked or commented on my business posts, I messaged them. Every day I was consistent posting and I messaged the likes and comments. And I didn't have a ton when I first started. I'd be like, I got 2 today. So if you're like, oh, there's no one interested, or it's the same people, you're just starting or growing, just keep growing. So likes and comments, you guys, when stories came out and you could see how many people, because like you can't see how many people look at your post, but you can see you had like 30 views on your stories. I reach out to my story views every day. I get a lot of my potentials from my stories because they follow you. Like they'll click through and see. I try to make my story of my business like a vlog. This is what I did when I woke up. I had my coffee. This is my lifestyle in the business. I have my kids. I drop them off. This is the weather. This is what we did. I work my business. Like, so you're kind of showing like the day in the life of an entrepreneur. And so many times people are like, oh, I've been watching your story for a while actually, or I've been seeing your posts for a while. And yeah, I'm interested. Like share more info. So always message your story views. And then post to post. Of course, you guys, post to post is a really, really easy tool to get distributors from. I've got a distributor app I started using around November, I think. And it's just fire and it works really, really well for me. If anyone on the team has it, if you want to put it in the chat, I use it daily and I get over my 10 conversations if I'm using it regularly every day. That, and if you're getting up, even giveaway hacks, anyone who posts, if you're getting up 5 giveaway hacks a day, you should have 5 new people to offer the business to. If they posted to get in the giveaway, odds are they need income. Always ask your hosts. That's where a lot of my leads come from, other than that opportunity, host to post. And then don't forget about your potential customers. I'm just going to ask, drop a 2 if you're like, I would rather sign a customer to get this perks member bonus than offer them the business. And what if they say no, and then I lost that customer? I want to let you guys know, maybe once in my 8 years, I've had someone be like, you know what, maybe I'll hold off on this. Most of the time, someone's like, I'm good, I'll just get the products. Or they'll say, oh yeah, sure, tell me more. That's how I got started. Always offer the opportunity for people to earn income if they're already interested in the products. I know that Stephanie and Joel Dunn preach that. They always offer their potential customers that are ready to sign the business opportunity. And then current customers. So many of my customers, I'm going to see if there's, Shannon was a customer before she was a distributor. Who else on here was a customer before they were a distributor? We got multiple pages, but I just want to let you guys know, a lot of my customers, once I reach out in their first, second, even third month, and they say my results are going awesome, I'll say, do you want to keep ordering the products as a customer, or do you want to upgrade and earn income and use the products as a distributor? And a lot of them will become DTs too. And then, so once you get the ask, and once you send the message, love asking my potential customers, they'd be interested in earning income. Yes, it works. You just have to be a little bit brave. People don't know that they can do both. Okay, so once we start the conversation, we send the message and someone says yes to information, right? Especially when you're new, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I say next? And I remember it was an Ambassador Diamond. She was like, I kind of treat distributor conversations like a date. And I know that might sound really, really weird, but you're literally getting to know them. Pardon me. Voice notes are key, letting them hear you, that you're a real person, especially if you're messaging from HAPS. They have no idea who you are. Everyone on my team knows. They're like, oh, Jessica voice note to me. I always voice note. If you can get them on a phone, I can't remember her name. She was like, I will sign someone. Oh, sorry, I can hear some. You guys want to mute yourselves? There was just a little background noise. But she said, when I can get someone on the phone, there's a 60% chance or more that they're going to sign that right there, right when I talk to them. They can ask me questions, all those kinds of things, get to know each other, and you have them on the phone. It's like, I don't know, if you saw someone in person, they're like, oh, do you want to come to a barbecue? It's really hard to say no in person, rather online, when you can, not really decide right away. But getting them on the phone, being brave. And then as they get, so if I was like, oh, you want information on, the income opportunity, they say yes. I say, essentially, it's the same as working through social media. I show you how to get up posts and content. You don't need a large following. So I nip that objection right in the bud, where I don't know a lot of people. I say, show you how to get out content past your friends and family and other networks. People who are interested come to us. So it takes out the cold messaging part. And then I say, we don't require any inventory, so there's no monthly costs. You're essentially doing it flexibly from your phone, on the go, or from home. How is that sounding so far? Tell me about you. Normally, I'll end that question, tell me about you. I want them to open up. When we can ask someone about themselves versus just giving them information because we want them to sign, it kind of slows the conversation down. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm a single mom, I'm really struggling, or I talk to a lot of moms. So I have 3 kids and, XYZ, whatever their situation might be. They'll share about it. And that's when you can relate with them and say, oh my gosh, I totally know how you feel. I'm a mom too. Like I started when my kids were young. I would love to help. Um, for me, you guys, I have a short video at this point where I say, I have a video that talks about what we do, what we offer, and how we earn income. Would you like me to send it over and you can take a look? And for the most part, they say, yeah. If you don't have a video, I usually will, my old scripting used to be, tell me about you. How much are you looking to earn per month? And then they would tell me, and I would say, okay, well, these are the different ways that we get paid. What's your schedule like? How many hours are you looking to put in a day? I want to make sure that like I'm talking to them what their schedule is like. We're getting to know each other. Normally they'll say, oh, I work at, a retail store in the evening, and then I have my kids at night, or whatever the case may be. It takes time for distributors. I know that for myself, like it took me 3 months to join. So most people, when I talk about the startup, this is where myself, when I was a new distributor, and a lot of people, drop a three if you're like, oh my gosh, now I have to tell them it costs money. Ah! So um, our kits have become more manageable with the price, I would say. With the cost of living being so high, $129 isn't even a lot. Like 4 chicken breasts for a family at the grocery store is like $30. Filling your gas tank. So I always say it's $129. That gives you everything you need. You get your license to sell, you get your website affiliate link set up. It comes with $200 in free products, so you're already making your investment back. And I'm going to teach you how to make weekly and monthly pay. Are you feeling that you want to get set up today? And I'm just like confident that they're wanting to get started. If they say no, I'll say, do you have a date in mind? Or they won't reply because they don't have the money and they feel embarrassed. They don't want to say, I don't have it. So follow up is really important in the distributor conversation. And there's different types of follow-ups. When I first started, it would be like, hey, it's me. Are you feeling ready to get started? Like, oh my gosh, I cringe at like the way that I used to message people. It was cold. It was so cold. But now I say, hey, wanted to check in what we chatted about yesterday. Any questions for me, or is it looking good? It's either looking good or they have a question. If they don't reply again, that is okay for me. I'm going to check in on Friday when it's payday, because if that's the date they feel more comfortable because they can afford it, I want to make sure that I'm reaching out at a time that will work better for them. So I would say, hey, I'm going to be getting people set up. I know that we talked about that $500 a month goal for your family. Is now a better time to get started? So I always kind of bring back what we talked about. And that's why I always like to ask them, tell me about you, so that I can remind them of why they were thinking about starting this. If at that point they don't reply, I say, hey, I just want to let you know, I actually have an option that you can pre-sell to start for free. Would that be something that you're interested in? And normally they'll reply back right away and be like, oh yeah, tell me about it. Then I know that like they couldn't afford it before. So free might be a better option for them. And I go right into the pre-sell. And I had somebody ask me about this the other day. Thank you for sharing that, Joy. Is the pre-sell scripting that I have in my boards is not up to date, which I didn't realize because we got the new kits. So my recommendations on pre-selling, if someone's like, yeah, what is it? I say it's really simple. Essentially, you get that free product in your kit. I show you how to sell it. We put up a simple post. I have one ready. See if anyone's interested, and we reach out to a couple people to see who might want to just try and buy a sample set. Does that sound good? And they'll either say yes or no. Most of the time they'll say yes. And I'll say, okay, here's a post. We do the coffee. So if you're in Canada, we do the coffee and gummies package. And the reason why is because 5 sample sets of coffee at $25 each knocks $100 right off that price tag. So now it's only $29 for them to start their business. And that's when I say, did you want to start for the $29 and you can keep the gummies? Some people can't even afford that. And they're like, no, I want to try to sell the gummies too. So they have that option. But for a lot of people, like $29 is like more manageable, right? So they're like, oh yeah, I'll start like on Thursday or something. Any questions about the pre-sell? While I look through my scripting, I just want to see where we're at. Oh, I just want to mention, you guys, the follow-up can be this going over to their page and complimenting something on one of their posts. Keep in mind, if they are going to sign with you, you want to build that relationship. They're going to be business partners. You're going to be checking their page regularly anyway and getting to know what kind of things that they like to post about. Go and give them love, and they can see that you're being genuine, not just because that you want to like quote unquote sign them up. If they have a story, yes, they posted their stories, go and comment on it. It goes right into their inbox. So it kind of breaks up the distributor conversation and reminds them that you guys had chatted as well. Not everyone does stories, but I love stories. Okay. Yeah, every 6 months, someone has a major life shift. I would love for you guys to put in the comments how long it took you to enroll. Like I said, it took me 3 months. Usually every 3 to 6 months, someone will have a major life change. They'll have a baby, they'll change their job, they'll move. Something will happen where their car will break down. They need like they want to go to school, like all those kinds of things. See, it took Dana 2 years. So there's a lot of people, even from when I first started 8 years ago. I had someone sign up, what is it, October or something like that, and she'd literally been a potential for me for years. And so just know, some people sign fast. Most people take at least, I would say, 1 to 2 months of following up. A promotion pops up, something where they can save a little bit and then get it to, get it together, and decide that. And if you're being consistent posting about your business and sharing your story, and they keep thinking, oh man, I really need to do that, I really want that, I really want that, you're boosting their confidence, you're showing them that it's possible, they're going to more prone to sign. 3 to 5 days, but I was looking. We want more Lisas. So you guys, you can just see that there's lots of different distributors start at different times. We're not buying the shoes, we're buying the shoe store. So just believe in yourself. The distributors aren't signing right away and you're building those potentials. I'm going to give you a number. For me, every 100 distributor messages I send, I will sign 1 to 3. So if I'm being consistent, sending my 10 messages every single day, I know that around the 10-day mark, I'm going to sign somebody. So just know that consistency is where the power comes in with your enrollments. And you can bring in multiple enrollments for sure. So I'm going to get into the last bit of this, which is overcoming objections, because we all know that distributors will tell you they want the money, but then there's a reason why they can't get it. So if anyone has any questions or objections that they get regularly, or like where you feel you're getting stuck, feel free to comment. I'm going to walk you through this system Amber Parker shared with me at an event for objections, and it's called Feel, Felt, Found, Find a Solution. So if anything, you guys write this down: feel, felt, found, find a solution. I do this exercise. I've done it before. Drop an objection in the comments, and I'm going to use this method right now and show you how, if a distributor told me something or potential told me something, how I would, navigate through it. One of the most common ones, oh my gosh, there's so many common ones. Obviously, the biggest one being like, I can't afford it. Pre-sell option. That's okay. Are you wanting to save for it and I can check in, or do you want to pre-sell the start for free? Like if they tell me they don't have the money right away, we're nipping that in the bud. I had a girl that I talked to today because she was like, I just can't afford the startup. And I was like, do you want to wait and save, or do you want to pre-sell the start for free? And she was like, I get paid on Friday. I'll start on Friday. So I'm super busy. I don't have time. That's a good one. That's a very common one, because lots of us, like, life is just super busy. So the first thing is you feel. I totally know how you feel. I felt the exact same way. My daughter was 5 days old when I started, and life is just busy in general. Majority of people who do this business have full-time jobs with kids, some second jobs, and they learn to fit it in. If I could show you how to fit this in 10-minute pockets, throughout your day, so that you could bring in the extra income that you're looking for, would that be something that you could benefit from? So you know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found is we have 10-minute pockets for the day. There's the solution. Like, is that sounding good? Okay. What else? I don't have I don't have I come from a small town. I don't have a lot of people that would be interested. Okay. I totally know how you feel. I'm from the small peninsula. I felt the exact same way. I did not have a lot of friends on Facebook when I started. But what I found is there's so many people out there through social media, and I show you how to reach out past your friends and family, um, to generate that extra income. If I could show you how to, expand outside where you live to still make that income stream you want, would that be something you could benefit from? You just have to nip it in the bud. What else? What else is a really popular one? Um, Nobody would buy from me. And I might sound repetitive, you guys. I might sound repetitive, but I literally use this method all the time and I voice note it. I'm not good at sales. That's a good one too. So I totally know how you feel. I felt the exact same way. I had zero experience when I started this. I actually worked in construction before. But what I found was the training systems that we have in place, as long as you're willing to learn, it's just like any normal 9 to 5 job. We go in knowing nothing, and then we're trained on how to do it. And then we, obviously, we catch on in time. If I could walk you through the training so that you could feel more confident in knowing how to do this, would that sound good? I don't want to sell anything. That's a tough one because okay. So there's some things that we can't, there's some things that, that's just part of our business. So I'm sorry, I would say, I don't want to sell anything. The good news about what we do is that we don't carry any inventory. So technically, you don't have to buy and sell. What we do is promote, and people who want to buy come to us, and we just talk to them about their goals, and we direct them through our website to shop. So they're actually the ones who do the shopping. Um, that wasn't a feel felt found answer, but that was a tough one. There's no really way. We're in sales. So we're in sales. So I would just say, it's just something that you have to become comfortable with. Um, face face to face phone is working for me. I live in a small town. I think that that's good. If you want to do face to face, you absolutely can. I think that's what you meant. Um, you can have small community parties, right? That's how we originally started, but majority of people need something flexible from their phone, and you can always do, parties online as well. Um, I'd almost say the products sell themselves. Yes, that's a good one. You know what they do? Honestly, if you're just promoting and you're getting into different networks, there's always going to be people who are interested. Yeah, we don't really sell them; we more share them. Yeah, I agree. And you can talk to them in any way. What I found is I'm always sharing, a restaurant that I went and ate at, or a pair of clothes, a pair of pants that I went and bought, or a deal that I had. I'm not necessarily selling those things; I'm sharing them. The benefit of this is that we can have the opportunity to. Okay, so I think you guys know the point. I could go on forever with that, but is there any questions that you guys have about distributors? Like I said, anywhere you can unmute and ask as well. I just want to scroll up to see if I missed any questions. One second. Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling. Okay, yeah. I think that if you guys don't have, any questions, the biggest one is be consistent sharing about the opportunity in different ways. Um, yeah. Um, Amber Parker does a good one about, yeah, past, present, future. Always talk about where you're going. It's really inspiring when you say, like, in a couple months, I want to be able to buy that boat, or like long-term vision, and then you do it, and people have been following you, and they're like, oh my gosh, she just did that. And she said like months ago she was going to do it. You just have to consistently post and share. Get up the hats, have the 10. I would say have, like, depending on what. Okay, so I'm going to share a tip for all you guys that are on here right now. I've been in the business for 8 years. I've gone to multiple conferences. Almost every single conference that we've had, there's been either 50% off or a $20 business builder kit. If anything, you want to start having at least 10 to 20 distributor conversations every day. 10 minimum. I would say 10 minimum. Um, Remember what I said, there's 10 days left until conference. So if you're asking 10 people a day, you should sign 1 to 3. But then if they announce those $20 kits, you can sign so many more than that. And it's a great way to help people who can't afford to start, takes the stress of deciding whether like the money's worth it, all those kinds of things. You guys build your list consistently, stay organized, follow up. Yeah, follow up, and your business will grow no matter what, for sure. Okay, so 37 minutes. We did awesome. I just want to say thank you everyone for taking the time to come and hop on and listen. Homework, if you haven't posted about the business, go and do it. Make it personal. Get a picture of you on there. Go and send 10 distributor messages tonight. Don't go to bed until your messages are sent, and you're setting yourself up for tomorrow's success for your business. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.